All right, doing an update on BTC. I'm actually going to do the crypto market first. So it's been kind of taking a back seat for the last couple months because it was kind of slow and dormant, and we've been focused mostly on global macro. But I'm going to lead off with it today because I think it's earned it. So let me shorten this up. All right, a couple things. So I'll do another video on Cardano specifically, but since we've had the call on the lows down at 2 cents, it's basically been a five bagger off the lows. So I actually um, have my long position here today. Let's see, I'll show you. I'll do a specific update. I want to look at the cycles on Cardano, but this was our initial buy down here. I think pretty much on the low or the day before the low. We did a video, and we've had several ads since then. So just using our add and reduce model, we took some into what is this, 4 or 5 cents, rebought. And this was a really nice secondary move here. And so I think up at 10 cents, it makes sense to take quite a bit off, guys. And then what I really want to kind of use the overall market in the 12,000 level on BTC as to whether we get back in a meaningful way. But you're going to have plenty of opportunities on the daily cycle and 4 hour and 1 hour dips to get back in there. So I don't want to spend too much time on that. I hit on the longer term cycles today in one of our coaching sessions. We had a lot whipping around. Currencies kind of went nuts right in the middle of the day with some of the Fed comments. But so we were working on some of the longer term cycles, and let me just show you what we were talking about. All right, there. That watermark's always annoying. All right, so don't forget on the weekly, we were really focused on April, and these are two longer term waves. This is our 8 point cycle sine curve. It's based on pi. Sine waves will oscillate around 2 pi on a function, and there's different types of cycles: transverse waves, longitudinal. But this is a fixed wave, and we care about, again, these are turning points in time. They're not about high and lows. All right, but you can see that the bull market ended here at the longer term wave, and we had 8.6 months into a low and a sideways base, and then that was kind of the first target was last year in the summer, August, if we were going to turn the corner, and we had to sit through a whole nother down cycle into April of this year. And I've done several videos on that. But if you look here on April 1st, again, this is a weekly chart. To the day, to the week, the cycle turned. And this bar, we call that a real money candle in our model, real money bar. It takes real capital to push the market up like that. That was the start of this most recent move we've had. So, I mean, just this week alone, Bitcoin's up over 20%. But this move started back in April, and we were actually accumulating. We were covering shorts here, November. There was some sideways trading that going on, but it was pretty dormant. And then we were accumulating again in March. So, but what's interesting about this here, guys, is this wave doesn't really turn until December. So these are benchmarks, and what we need to see take place right now is this 12,000 level is 50% retrace of the move down from the highs. So this was the first spot that the market's probably going to struggle, and then it's also 4 tops from January. So that's why we took off half today. But you'll notice on this intermediate term wave, we actually broke a major level. If you remember, the breakdown spot was 6,000, 6,500. And we talked about on this cycle turn here. Let me see if I can mark on this. You guys should be able to see it. So here the market turned in time, and on this wave, the call was if you get above 6, which you got to get above price and change the trend with the cycle, that we could rally into this benchmark here, and that's exactly what taking place. So you broke through 6. This is the cycle we've been on, and now again we're at 12,000 level, right into a major cycle. So a couple things can happen. If we close the week and the month above 12,000, then you should expect a rally, which could take it all the way back to the highs in a pretty quick fashion. Here into August, September. I think that's the spot, right? Yeah, August. If you fail here and the market struggles, which is why we took profit out, I like taking some into the level, and then if you get through it, you can always put it back on. But if you fail here and the market has to digest, we pull back, you're going to be glad you sold, and then you can come back in and buy it back. But this is the cycle here. So whether or not we can get through 12,000, you may go sideways, you may pull back. It doesn't mean you go all the way back to this area in the chart. It's just about a turning point. So we could go sideways into August. So this is really key pivot. This is a real key point as far as price and direction. But this longer term wave is what's really the most interesting to me, that we actually turned exactly. And this wave here has a shorter wave. This, don't forget, that produced 11 out of 13 turning points exactly from the highs, and I documented that pretty much weekly. So that's what we do. This is why we care so much about cycles and understanding this time component. It's not just about price. You got to have an understanding of time, and that's how you're going to get better consistency. So I'm watching 12, book profits into it. And then if we do get through 12,000, I mean, again, the next big long-term pivot is into the summer. So you could sell off, go sideways, break out above 12,000 on this turning point. We could run up to the old highs and fail, into December. There's lots of things that price could do, but this is definitely the next turning point. Just like we talked about, April was key on the breakout. And this is a pretty big convergence that one of my guys was talking about and pointed out in our coaching session today, is that this is a pretty you have a couple of cycles converging here, actually all three of them. If you want to go to the daily level, you can look at the faster cycle, which has actually been pretty interesting also. So notice here the market broke out. Again, this was the breakout right on this turn. It went sideways, started the rally here. We rallied into this turning point. And then most recently, this move here is the length of pretty much the move into this. The cycle has it playing out a little bit further. There's something else to point out that we got above. This was a pretty good high right here in the cycle. So anyway, guys, watch 12,000. I'll continue to update everybody on that. If you want to look at more of the outright direction, it's funny too. There's some interesting characters popping up on Twitter. They're using the term like rhythm trader, and I look at here all my rhythm bands and all my all the branding from when I was saving these charts 2 years ago. All have that similar name in there. I would always be skeptical of people that like to hide behind their aliases on Twitter or crypto, but they're afraid to stick their neck out when it comes to making calls or, actually being out there in the marketplace and standing behind who you are and what you're doing. Or these guys just come in and they don't have any experience, but yet they want to charge people for memberships and things. You don't even know who they are. I find it interesting. There we go. Yeah, this is pretty clear. The black's a little bit easier to see. All right. Ethereum looks good. You got above this old base right here. This was important for the market to get above. So it was kind of 2.25, and so that's kind of a big cup and handle. You didn't have much of a handle, but it broke through there, and then we based and actually held the underside of that support, and moved to a new high. So Ethereum's gone. Most of the majors all look pretty similar when it comes to that formation. Litecoin. Litecoin's gone. There's it. There's the same thing, that base. See how it went sideways right in line with that same base? Now, these are areas, so that's why I always say don't get too level specific. Like this was a whole chunk. This was a whole zone of resistance because it was support. It broke. So the longs are trapped. When you come back up there, they want to sell. Then you just form this nice base. That was the real money candle, the breakout. That was your secondary pullback. We call that the gift zone. That's a swing line buy setup in our model. And then it's just been nothing but higher lows. So this is all long-term bull market type of action. It's pretty good pullback here. I'll be a buyer. You guys want to be a buyer anywhere in this zone. Longer term, we're still core long. Probably should have taken a little bit on that. I'm not going to hit on Bitcoin Cash. BTC. Let's start with the monthly real quick. All right, so here was the basing, and we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months off the low. This monthly cycle has a lot to play out. This was a really crazy long-term cycle that hung out forever at the top of the range. And we talked about if and when you peak, a full monthly cycle back to the bottom of the range was going to be your bear cycle. And you'll notice the settings that we like to use, you didn't turn up here until March. So just waiting on that cross is pretty accurate and timely indicator and setup. And that's why we use it. It's never one thing, but that's definitely a significant oscillation. Stochastic in an oscillation is an equation of motion that you use in physics. That's why we use it in our model also. I don't use this as overbought and oversold. I use it as a timing indicator. I care about the oscillation of the timepiece. Oversold and overbought, you can use better things to show that. You could use an RSI. It's pretty obvious. There's other ways and better ways to use it than the traditional indicators that a lot of people use. Anyway, we're clearly in a bull market there. I would say the other thing to note is that we're about 50% of the move down. So we have a wall concept that I've been talking about for a while publicly. You put this into one move halfway. So we've retraced 50% of the bear market. So this is another reason why I got to be cautious up here and take some profits if it makes sense. Weekly. I don't want this video to get too long. It's just more of the same. Watch. These are all the highs that I care about. 1, 2, 3, 4 weekly highs. So I don't know why the shorts were excited about shorting 10,000. I mean, there's a little bit of a level right there, but 12 is kind of the major spot, and you shouldn't be shorting this bull market anyway. If you're a miner and you wanted to hedge 10,000, 12,000, you sell one futures contract, which is about 5 BTC. I mean, I get that, if the miners weren't really profitable below 5,000 or 6,000, well, they doubled that price now. So that's a great place to hedge. Some of you guys that are into that mining, you may want to think about that in futures. You can sell forward 6 months and lock in this BTC price if the market were to come back off. It doesn't mean you have to sell everything, hedge everything, but you keep along. But I think that's good risk management. On the daily level, see our weekly cycle's high, so is the daily. And we can easily pull back from here. That's why we booked some today. You can see we're pretty well extended above the 8, above what we use, what we call the bands here. You're well above pi line. You're well above the 200. So all plenty of reasons to pull back, but you want to stay core long. Don't lose your position. It's part of trailing out, letting the market take you out. All the stuff that we teach. Anyway, guys, we'll do more updates going forward on crypto. We also have a live room I want to highlight for you guys. We used to charge in our crypto room, it was $100 to just watching, or just our crypto alerts. We charged $100 a month, and now I put all of that crypto, all our markets, forex, equities, commodities, bonds, all together in a live room. And you go to jenkinsrm.com. You can get trial access right here. It's really simple. You put in your email. It'll just pop you right to the registration page, and it'll basically give you access directly to show you what it looks like. Trading room right here. And I'm putting out alerts, I don't know, probably 20 alerts today. We were trading a lot of futures. Hopefully that password works. Here's all our alerts posted. Now this is software that'll push right to your cell phone. It'll give you alert, iPad, Android, whatever you're using. It'll tell you what we're doing. I signal, okay, we're covering the VIX here. We're covering, I think last night we were highlighting some of the FX markets. Today we were shorting the pound last night, covering today. And then this is our chat, and then I can bring up and stream our live trading in the morning, so we trade together. We'll be doing that with crypto more going forward. But that's great membership, guys. We're going to have analysis all in one spot, the live room. I mean, I'm looking around the space. There's people charging $200, $300 a month just for signals, but no context around the signals. I mean, here you're going to trade together a live room, all markets. I don't think you can really beat the value. So it's jenkinsrm.com. Click right there. I think that pretty much sums it up. We had a good day today. You guys are doing well again on euro. We shorted, covered that. Our long dollar positions worked great. Long yen. I'll show you here real quick on what we did in gold. So we came in this morning, came out of gold, and last night, 1442. Rebought this morning, 1428. Came out, sold 14. Rebought 1430, sold 1433. Some of you bought in the teens down here. I kind of left that one alone because our call is that this daily cycle can pull back more on the gold market. You got a topping tail. I think 1400 would be the first spot where I'd want to buy back futures. I'm just keeping a core long via calls right now. Here's what we did in S&Ps. I think S&Ps guys could pull back more. 2900 is kind of the first spot. But really, maybe more like 28.75. But we sold last night. Came in, I didn't rebuy anything, and then sold. We signaled out of longs and or day trade short here. 29.51. We finished out the day at 29.22. Did the same thing on the NASDAQ. I mean, this is one trade pays for the whole year. You're talking about $100 a month membership. Just from here to here is about $1,000. So Anyway, we can get you guys trained on futures and options. I have a whole trading course on our directional model, an intro to Forex if you're new to that market. So we're not just talking about crypto news and regurgitating the same stuff that comes across CoinDesk. This is real trading with real professional background. Know what it's like to trade real risk. So this is what we did in cable. We were short, covered. Got a core position on euro yen. This trade's the most out of the money position I have, but we're long some futures against that. Long yen. Here's what we did. Dollar yen covered a little bit. Cable. There's our covers on cable this morning. You guys can see that. So anyway, guys, we'll see some of you hopefully in the live room next few days. You can message me if you got any questions. You can find me at my Twitter handle at the Jason Jenkins. I'll put some links in the YouTube video. All right, have a great night.